Let's do this. Let's dive into the changes. You know, last year I called it what did I say? I said during the season 4 breakdown, I called it a autopsy. Now I think I described the season 5 changes as a post-mortem. So hopefully that should set the tone for this stream. Right, what am I doing? Let's get these patch notes up. So, season 5. You know, before I talk about Dhalsim, I'm just gonna quickly talk about the general adjustments for the whole cast. Now, I don't think most of these are relevant, but there are 2 that I think do slightly affect Dhalsim in a very, very minor way. Okay, so in the sort of cast-wide general adjustments, there's 2 important ones. One is if a throw is input at a priority timing during the 5-frame recovery window of a rapid cancelable light attack, the regular throw and not the rapid cancelable move will be performed. Now that is a horrible way to word it, and I had to study that sentence for approximately 5,000 years to figure out what it was talking about. It doesn't matter to Dhalsim much, because he doesn't struggle from this, but I know certainly when I was playing Lucia, this was a massive pain in the fucking arse. And I think like Sakura suffers from it really bad as well. So I'm glad that they fixed this. I didn't think they ever would. And all it means is that certain situations, if you do like... Let's turn stun off. If you do like crouch jab into tick throw, for a lot of characters, the priority was set higher for chaining jab together than throw. So if you inputted jab and then quickly light punch and light kick, rather than doing jab into throw, it would do jab into rapid cancel jab, and it was fucking annoying. As I say, Sakura and Lucia suffer from it really badly. They fixed that now. Doesn't really affect Dhalsim, but I just thought it's worth mentioning. The other one is behavior after a certain part of an attack that draws the opponent in hits. Again, terribly worded. They do mention in the patch notes that it's a phenomenon related to attacks that suck in the opponent, specifically Zangief V-Trigger 1. This is a weird one, because occasionally, I'm sure Dhalsim players are aware of this, but occasionally you'd press a button in the Zangief matchup at the same time Zangief spinning in V-Trigger 1, and the suction hitbox would kind of interact with your extended limb in a kind of weird way, and you'd sort of hit but also slide forward and get sucked in. Now, they say they fixed this so that it doesn't look so stupid, but I played a match against a Zangief player a couple days ago, and it looks even stupider. It's a pain for me to set up, because it relies on specific hitbox interactions at specific distances, but rest assured, if you ever see this interaction in a match between Dhalsim and Zangief, it looks fucking weird, and the only thing that happens now is it still sucks you in, but I think you don't slide forward as far. So it's kind of a buff for Dhalsim. You're left further from Zangief, but it looks really glitchy. It doesn't look good. Anyway, let's talk actual Dhalsim changes. Let me just get up the link. Here we are. Dhalsim adjustments for CE. Number 1. Vitality increased from 925 to 950. Good. Nice. Happy for him. Unfortunately, huge sections of the cast also got health increases. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of like, other than the top tiers, almost everyone in the low and mid tier category seemed to have got a health boost, as far as I can tell. So it's kind of like, it's a classic situation of Dhalsim getting something, but everyone else also getting that thing, so they're still kind of like relative to each other. The meta hasn't changed in that regard, so it's a buff, but it's kind of a universal or semi-universal buff. Number 2, I'm already starting to complain. Standing medium punch increased the advantage from +2 to +4 on hit. So this is, and it's weird because if you look in training mode, it says +2 on the overlay, and then it suddenly changes itself to +4. This is a completely baffling change. Let me just set him to auto recover. Like, making this +4 does nothing as far as I can tell. The only thing it does is it means that you get this link now, because you think stats +4 would mean that you can now like link into lights, but doesn't reach. Doesn't reach. That does reach, but it doesn't combo because you're hitting meaty. If I set guard after first attack and switch guard direction on, doesn't combo, doesn't reach. Yep. And I've tested this as well on crouching. I've tested it on big bodies. It doesn't work on Abigail. So, and the only things that you can cancel, stand medium punch into, which was my other guess that this might be related to, is V trigger and super, and both of those things already comboed from stand medium punch. So the 2 extra frames of advantage don't change anything. Maybe medium punch into super hits them slightly further. I mean, possibly. Maybe against like big bodies you can do like stand medium punch into super, and the extra flight time, like you get 2 extra frames. But like, I don't know what they were thinking with this. And on counter hit, if by some miracle, say you wanted to press stand medium punch, and they forward dash in on you, and you'd already pressed it, and you get a counter hit, like goes to +6. Once again, you're like perfectly spaced not to link anything afterwards that's 6 frames. Like, the only link, as far as I can tell, that is now a new thing is counter hit point blank stand medium punch into crouch light kick. Like, that's it. That's your new combo. Like, but I don't know. I don't know what Capcom was thinking. I don't know if they had some grand idea of this doing something new. But it's nothing. It's not even a buff. It's just randomly changing frame data. I've no idea. So that's the standing medium punch buff. Now let's move on. EX Yoga Fire. This I would say is the biggest and best and probably only true buff Dhalsim has in this patch. So they've changed EX Fire in a bunch of interesting ways. The most important of which is that the first hit, because it's a 2-hit projectile, pushes back much more than the second hit. So you can see when it hit just then, it splits up the 2 hits rather than hitting at the same time. And this is really important. I just need to turn infinite meter on, or recover. Yep. This opens up a lot of new combo opportunities. It opens up a lot of new block strings. It's an interesting change. So for example, you can do stuff like this now, which used to be super specific before, but is now like brain dead. So as a combo tool, you've got new options. Even at certain ranges, you can even dash up and link after it, which I'll try and demonstrate, which is a bit difficult. The spacing is kind of precise if you don't have a guaranteed setup for it. You can take the guaranteed damage if you just do like stand heavy kick afterwards, like that, or you can go for the more difficult one like that and link afterwards, something like that. So as well as new combo opportunities, that extra pushback is useful for pressure. So for example, it also applies on block. So in a situation you do something like this. You see it like that. Not only can I dash in afterwards, I'm +10 in that situation. Obviously it varies with spacing, so you can be more or less plus the further you are away. But it basically means that you can dash in and take another turn right afterwards. Punished Broski. A man denied his buffs. I'm Venom Broski. So that's a nice change because it lets you continue pressuring after EX Fireball on block, as well as and combo in new ways on hit. They also increase. This was a slightly strange one. They increased the actual point blank frame advantage as well from +4 to +5. See, this used to be +4, now it's +5. Now Dhalsim doesn't actually have any 5-frame normals. So this doesn't open up any new combo routes, like you can't do that. I think this is just a side effect of getting these like delayed connect combos like this. Like, I think that's all it really comes down to, because +5 point blank isn't very useful for Dhalsim. You still only get a jab link afterwards. What else changed about that? Okay, next change Dhalsim got is crouch medium punch and back heavy punch, also known as yoga anvil, are now both cancelable into V skill. So, and this applies to both V skills, I should also say. Let me just change to V skill 1. And so the opponent to jump. So you can now cancel to float off that, and you can cancel to float off that, and also to the charge on yoga deep breath. Like that. And like that. So again, this is kind of like the stand medium punch change, in that I looked at it and thought, okay, there could be some potential here. You might get like a new anvil combo out of it, or something like that. And then the more I tested it, the more I was just like, why is this a thing? What's this for? Like, how does Dhalsim actually benefit from this? Because as a combo tool, you get nothing. You get that, which is like way less damage than the actual combo. So like, what's the point? So as a combo tool, I don't know why you would ever want that. As a way to keep going, I think this is what they intended. I think this is what Capcom thought would be the way to use it. Would be doing stuff like that, but it's very reminiscent of the. They wanted sort of this kind of thing, but the thing is, float has too much startup, and so does the V skill 2, to actually really get much out of it. All you can do safely out of an anti-air into float is jump heavy punch. Like, you can't. You're only like plus, I don't know, 4, it's hard to tell from the display, but you're only like +5 or something after you finish the startup of float. So as a way to maintain pressure, I don't really see it. I don't really know what the intention is, because the thing is, even without this, if you get an anti-air crouch medium punch, like, you've already got ways to continue pressuring. You can do a meaty slide, you can just go for a button afterwards, you can do EX fireball. He's already got good ways to continue pressuring after his anti-airs, so it wasn't necessary. It doesn't add a whole lot. I will say that it's marginally more useful in V skill 2, because it gives you a safe way to get a charge. You are actually negative after they land, because V skill 2 has so much startup, like -5 or something. But at least it's like a sort of semi-consistent way to convert an anti-air into a charge. So yeah, I kind of see it with V skill 2. V skill 1, I don't get it. You can do CC anvil into forward float into light drill. It's a gimmick though, isn't it? Like, you might hit someone with this once, but wrong V skill. You're leaving so much damage on the table just to go for a mix-up, and it's also kind of finicky. Like, you've got to throw away so much damage just to go for a mix-up, compared to just doing like a basic anvil combo. I don't know what the point is. It doesn't make sense to me. It's got, as I say, it's got a couple of niche uses, I think, but it's mostly gimmicks, and it doesn't fundamentally change anything about the way Dhalsim operates in this game. Yoga Sansara V-Trigger 2 can now be cancelled into from a mid-air normal move. So this was an interesting one. You can now cancel jump normals into the initial and the second usage of V-Trigger 2. And it does allow you to get a little bit of damage out of an instant overhead, which is nice. You can do something like this. So you get slightly more out of an instant overhead. It also lets you safely activate and also get a bit of damage out of it. So if you're just like in the mid-range and you just want to activate V-Trigger 2 but also get a little bit of damage, nobody is blocking that instant overhead at that distance. That's That's never happening. So you get a little bit of damage there, which is nice. And there are a few setups I've seen for like converting off of this kind of stuff. Like you can actually theoretically get full combos off it using fireballs. I think this is an okay little buff. The other thing this is useful for is as a way to compensate for an idiotic thing they did with V-Skill 2, which I'll talk about afterwards. But basically, this is vital in some situations if you're running V-Skill 2, because it's the only way to make this combo safe on hit. Let me just repeat that. Cancelling jump medium punch into V-Trigger 2 if you're using V-Skill 2 after an EX Flame in the corner is the only way to make it safe on hit and not punishable. You have to do this if you're using V-Skill 2. I'll explain why in the V-Skill 2 segment though. I'm never gonna get this set up, am I? There we go. Okay. So there are some little cute setups you can do to combo off instant overhead with V-Trigger 2 now, using that. And as I say, you can also get a little bit of damage just activating it. And the damage isn't very good either, as you've just pointed out. 165 for V-Trigger 2 and 1 bar. Not the best usage in the world. Yeah, you can... Let me just do that as well. Yeah, you get a stand medium punch afterwards. So actually, it's not 165, it's 195. There you go, big damage for 1 bar and half of your V trigger gone. I mean, you could use it. You could use it to close out a round, but the point I'm trying to make with all these changes is that none of them fundamentally change anything about Dhalsim. They're just cute little things here and there. You know, a little change here and a little change there, but none of this is gonna change his position in the meta. And the last change I've got listed here is Yoga Sunburst, CA. The opponent now gets meter on block. This is a universal change. Every CA in the game now gives you a fixed amount of super gauge for blocking it. I hate this change, and I think I'm the only person in the whole world who hates this change. And I'll tell you why I hate this change. It's because there actually used to be some very smart ways to get hit on purpose by supers. I'll just hang on. Some of you might already know about this. I don't know if everyone does. 2-player critical gauge. So if you see on block, you should now get a big chunk of meter for blocking this. Yeah, you see he got about, I don't know, 10, 15% of a bar. It's not a lot. But let me explain why I hate this change. Let's say you're in a situation against... they see nothing. They see nothing because I put my face in the way of the... I put my face in the way of the bar. That was clever. Hang on. Let me unlock the webcam. I'm going to put myself back down again in a second, just once I've shown this. There you go. Demonstrated successfully. Got my mug out of the way. Let's put it back down again. You'd never have believed me if I hadn't shown you. That's the important point here. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying was, imagine the following scenario, okay? You're in the corner. You've got no health left. You've got like 1 HP left. You're against Rashid. Rashid has full CA, and he makes you block a light punch spinning mixer, which is -2. He then decides after you've blocked it, he's going to do CA. Now you don't have any resources to escape this. Let's say you're not playing Dhalsim, you're playing a different character with no teleport. You're like, okay, this is a checkmate scenario. He's going to chip me out with the super. I've got no way of stopping it. Previously, prior to this patch, if you let yourself get hit by the super, rather than letting it chip you out, the entire animation played of Rashid flying up into the sky and kicking you with his little crazy legs. And all that time, even though you've been dead the whole time, if you watch your critical gauge, you'll see it doing this. And you get, I think you get nearly a full bar. I think you get about 3/4 of a bar if you let Rashid's entire CA play out. Versus if you got chipped out by Rashid's CA, then you got like nothing. You got no meter. So it was an extremely niche piece of tech, but it was something I actually liked because it rewarded players for looking into this. Where in guaranteed death scenarios, you could let yourself get hit by CAs rather than blocking them and getting chipped out in order to build more meter, which I really liked. It was a reward for being smart. It was a reward for paying attention and saying, well, this is a checkmate scenario, so I'm going to pick the one which has more meter, which is actually intentionally getting hit. But they got rid of that, and now you get meter on block as well, so that's gone. I haven't looked at the exact numbers. You might still get more meter for letting the CA hit you in certain scenarios, but yeah, it's I can see why they did it, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Anyway, that's just me ranting about an extremely minor change. But let's talk next about V-Skill 2. The big mechanic change, the new thing, the selling point of Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Let's Yoga Deep Breath. Now I'll explain what it does first, in case you've been living in solitude for the last month or so. You press it, Dhalsim does a sort of inhaling motion for about 40 frames. You can also do it in the air as well. You can't do it in the air until you reach a certain height, exactly the same height as V-Skill 1, which is extremely dumb. So you're still subject to this problem. Trying a V-Skill in the air and not reaching the minimum height and getting jump medium kick. I don't know why both V-Skills I've been saying forever should not have a height restriction. It makes no sense. But anyway, so he does this inhale, and then after he's done this inhale, your next fireball gets its properties changed. It bounces. And it becomes 2 hits as well. The EX version becomes 3 hits. And they also both gain massively increased frame data on both hit and on block. So regular Yoga Fire is -3 on hit. V-Skill 2 Yoga Fire +4. EX is +5 on hit. Oh, hang on. +5 on hit for regular. Yep. And +15 on hit for EX. This is point blank. Those numbers will increase the further away you are. For example, from here, that was +23, and this is +1 billion. It's like, I don't know. It was, the thing is, it gets to a point where you get so plus in Street Fighter V that the frame data count doesn't actually tell you anything. The other thing that was discovered shortly after the drop of this update was that Heavy Punch Fireball bounces back again after you throw it out with V-Skill 2. So you'll see I'll throw it over his head, and then it returns. He gets hit by those hidden missiles. They come back from beyond the grave and hit you in the back. So this opens up new combo routes for Dhalsim. So now that this is +4, you can link a light kick after it. He says, dropping a link every time, like that. And with EX being +1 billion, you can link basically anything you could ever possibly want to link after it. That's like the basic route, and in the corner, you can do Anvil twice, which is new. Like that, which is solid damage for 1 bar. And was that 5 hit? Nope, it's 3 hit for the EX version. Now, in my opinion, there are 2 massive flaws with the design of this V-Skill. The first is Capcom did not, either they didn't think it out properly, or they just did and assumed that it would be too strong this way. Now, in Season 4, Dhalsim's combo routes were changed such that you can link a jump medium punch after an EX flame. That became his like default route in a lot of scenarios, both mid-screen in the corner, EX flame into jump medium punch. Now, because jump medium punch has 8 million frames of recovery, like that, you also cancel that jump medium punch back into V-skill in order to make yourself safe. However, when you do it with V-skill 1, Yoga Float, the jump medium punch cancel leaves you at about, I don't know, plus 10 or something. So you can reset with jump medium punch, and then you can drill or jump heavy punch or teleport away. You can continue your pressure or you can back off. You've got a lot of options. Unfortunately, I guess they didn't think about this when they were designing V-Skill 2, because V-Skill 2 has so much recovery while playing out this animation that you're actually not only negative, but punishable after this. Cammy can literally punish this on a hit mid-screen. This is a punish. There's nothing. If you do this combo against Cammy and she has full CA, and they know what they're doing, that's a guaranteed punish on hit. So there is no way to make that safe on hit. Now, at the very least, mid-screen, most characters don't have a fast enough move to punish you at that kind of range. However, in the corner, let's say you just did like a bread and butter, like something like this. You are fully punishable on hit for doing that combo by every single character in the game. Like, let me just try and demonstrate real quick. Okay. I'm going to take control of Ryu while that's recovering and do a DP. This might not work. It's an awkward one to record. Like that. It has so much recovery that after your bread and butter combo, EX Flame into jump medium punch, you get punished on hit, which is terrible design in my opinion. Appallingly poorly thought out. So I'm not happy about that one bit. I think there's two ways you could fix this. There's two ways you could make this not an issue. One of them is making jump medium punch special cancelable, so I can cancel jump medium punch straight into heavy gale. That would bypass the issue entirely. The second is to reduce the recovery on V-skill. Either would work, but we don't have those at the moment, so I've got to just judge it the way I see it. There's another huge problem with V-Skill 2. Now this one I can kind of forgive because it probably required a lot of testing to find out. But remember how I said a few moments ago that the cool thing about heavy punch fireball is that after you throw it out, it bounces back. It comes sneaky back from behind. Well, I think there's an issue with Street Fighter V's fundamental programming of projectiles, because once projectiles go a certain distance off the edge of the stage, they despawn. And this means that if I do, let's say here, heavy punch fireball. Wait, was that the V-Skill 2 version? Let's try that again. It should come back. He says it not coming back. Can't even get the spacing right for it. There we go. But as you saw there, if you do it anywhere closer than about half screen with the opponent cornered, the fireball goes so far off screen that it despawns entirely and never comes back. This doesn't happen mid-screen, by the way. This isn't consistent behavior. If I do this mid-screen, it goes off screen and then it happily comes back. Like, it has no problem coming back mid-screen, even if it goes off the screen. Comes right back, but for whatever reason, presumably there's a dead zone off the edge of the stage that causes any hitboxes, any projectiles, any whatever to despawn, because Capcom thought, well, if a fireball is, I don't know, 60 units off the edge of the stage, it's not going to be able to hit anyone, so we'll just despawn it to save resources or whatever. But I didn't think about that when they were designing this V-skill, because it doesn't come back in the corner. So yeah, that's not good. That's really, really bad design. It neuters a lot of setups, because one of the best places, in theory, to use V-skill 2 would be set play in the corner. You could do something like this. And then, if it worked properly, you could rely on the fireball to come back and cover your ass in a setup or create a mix-up opportunity. But, yeah, it doesn't come back. The last thing about V-skill 2 that doesn't make any sense to me as a Dhalsim player, and probably shouldn't make any sense to anyone else either, is the fact that it's +4 on hit, which you might say, oh, that's cool, it creates links like that. That doesn't make any sense, because Dhalsim still, despite my constant begging, has no way to finish combos off lights without spending bar. He still has no combo finisher off lights. So this means that if you want to get any sort of combo off fireball, you need to spend a bar on EX. Like that. But then it raises the question, if I'm spending a bar, why in God's name would I use that route? Why would I ever use that route when I can do this instead? It's like, why would anyone be incentivized to do regular fireball if I have to spend a bar afterwards to get any combo, if I can just spend the bar at the start and get crouch fierce rather than like stand light kick? I feel like this change was designed explicitly with the idea in mind. Oh yeah, brilliant point from Mr. Crimson there. Also, this combo, ending in flame, gives you way better Oki than this combo, ending in jump medium punch. It does less damage, it's less optimal, and it gives you no Oki. So it's like, I don't know. So as I was saying, I'm convinced that they made this decision to make this +4 during some beta version of the changes where Dhalsim could do stand light kick flame. Where this was a combo. Because otherwise it's like, what's the point? Why would anyone ever do that? Not doing jump medium punch gives you the best Oki, but then you lose like 50 damage. The damage difference is so huge. Let me just point this out. The damage difference is so huge that even if you do the jump medium punch, you still do less damage. Look, I'll show you. That does 276, 429. That does 289, 433. Does more damage, more stun, better Oki. So why would I ever use that? Why would I ever use regular fireball? It's just, it's a nice concept. This was the thing. When I first saw this V-skill, I was like, okay, it's an interesting idea. I can think of some setups that you could create. It's got some options. It creates some nice combo opportunities. I posted a few on Twitter. You can do all sorts of crazy things with it. Let me just show off one random combo that I can think of that's... So, for example, after a stun, you could do something like this. Let's try that again. Oh, it's double dash, isn't it? I'm an idiot. I've forgotten my combos. I remember I used to have execution a long time ago. There we go. Well, dropped it at the end anyway. Anyway, the point being that you do have some cool new combo opportunities, but it's a shame. It's a shame. So as I said, this is too slow. This should not be +4. It should be plus. It should either be +6 or it should be +4, and they should add a light combo. It despawns if it goes off the edge of the corner of the stage. I feel like there's something important I'm forgetting as well about it. Oh, there is Yeah, thank you. I just remembered it as you posted it. So you can cancel V-Skill 2 EX Fireball back into V-Skill 2 charge. You can do this. It's something. It wasn't mentioned in anything. It wasn't. The thing is though, the SF5 diff only shows a diff. It shows you a difference between old and new. So because V-Skill 2 EX Fireball didn't exist in the files beforehand, it won't show up in a diff because it's like it doesn't have a before and after of the move to compare. It's just showing you this move now exists. So that's why it didn't show up in the diff. But anyway, so you can cancel V-Skill 2 EX Fireball back into a V-Skill charge, which is cute. I mean, it lets you go back to zoning after throwing an EX Fireball. Kind of. Dhalsim is crippled by only being able to have one projectile on screen at a time. So even if you do have this, you can't throw another fireball to mix them up or have like fireballs going everywhere. This is actually something I want to mention. Dhalsim not being able to have multiple fireballs on screen at once isn't an issue previously, but I feel like it becomes an issue under V-Skill 2 because if I do this, I can't throw another fireball the entire time that bounce is happening. Even if that bounce is happening way off screen. Let's say I throw this. I'll turn inputs on so you can see. There we go. So if I throw a fireball like that. Whoa. My inputs just died, that was weird. If I throw a fireball, look how long it takes before I can throw another one. While I'm waiting for the previous one to do its arc and then bounce and then do its arc again and then hit the floor. I think they should make it so that if you have V-Skill 2, you can put multiple fireballs on the screen at the same time. That's more of a vanity buff though. I'm not demanding that. That doesn't really matter that much. I get why they don't want it, but it just means that there are times when you try and throw a fireball, but you can't because the fireball is off screen. You see, it disappears off screen, and I have no way of knowing other than just learning the timing off by hand. Exactly how long until I can throw a fireball again. So I'm not keen. I think V-Skill 2 is a good idea. I think the execution is horrendous. It could be saved in a patch if there is. I mean, I've seen people saying that they're hoping that there's going to be like a sort of tidy up patch along with Seth. I don't really believe it. I believe there might be some bug fixes with Seth. I don't believe there's going to be balance changes. Maybe I've just become a pessimist about this game. That's just the way I feel. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I would love it if Capcom said like the December patch was patch 1 of 2. We're testing out all these new V skills in patch 1, and then we're gonna like tweak them in patch 2 in January once people have had a chance to get their hands on it. That'd be brilliant, but I don't believe it's gonna happen. But we'll see. So that's the changes as they are written. What I would say is that I think this might be the worst year ever to play Dhalsim. And I'll tell you why I say that. It's not because Dhalsim got worse. It's because all the other low tier characters, as far as I'm concerned, got better. And they left him behind. Dhalsim is basically the same this season as he was last season. Ed got a bunch of buffs. Vega got a bunch of buffs. Falk got a bunch of buffs. You know, Fang got a bunch of buffs. I genuinely think in this current state of Street Fighter V, Dhalsim is bottom 5, maybe bottom 3. It's and as I say, it's just a side effect of the meta leaving him behind. The exact same thing, I would say, happened last year as well. Last year, Dhalsim in Season 4, he got a couple of minor buffs. You can go back to my old video, I talk about it there. I'm kind of like, he's a little bit better, but his worst matchups got worse. Everyone else shifted up, and he was just sort of maybe a tiny bit better. And exactly the same things happened this year. Dhalsim's got a couple of little buffs, cute little things here and there, but the whole meta is just jumping up every season. The characters that are on the same tier as him They get better and better and better and better, and Dhalsim just sort of stays where he is. He doesn't move much. So, yeah, I hate to be so grim. It should be festive and happy. I should be like, thank you, Capcom. This is the Christmas present I always wanted. But unfortunately, right now, it's not looking very positive. I'd happy to be proven wrong. I'd love to see, you know, like YHC Mochi or Jesse, you know, or Crimson. Any of these guys go out next season and just get amazing results. But it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. Do you think the potential V-Skill 2 fixes you mentioned could help out his tier at all? Not really. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Even if they fix the things that I mentioned about V-Skill 2, so if they make it not despawn, if they make it +6 on hit, if they... what else did I say? I've already forgotten my own words. Basically, if they implemented everything I mentioned about V-Skill 2, I don't think I'd pick it. Right now, I can't think of a single matchup where I would feel confident that it's a better choice than V-Skill 1. As far as I'm concerned, Dhalsim's matchups right now are either V-Skill 1 is better by miles, or at the other end of the scale, you've got they're about the same. You could use either. Like maybe Zangief is a matchup where V-Skill 2 is the right choice, because floating, you don't really float much in that matchup. You just press 2 buttons, but there's not a single matchup in this game where I think V-Skill 2 is the obvious choice. Best case scenario, it's as good as V-Skill 1. I think it's better in the Manat matchup where float is really risky. I can see how that would work, and also having 2 hits means that she can't just absorb it with her own V-Skill 1. But again, it's kind of a case of like, it's probably as good as V-Skill 1 in that matchup, but I don't know if I'd feel confident in any way saying it's the better V-Skill. And that's the issue, really. The best case, as I say, is matchups where it's as good as V-Skill 1, but not anywhere it's better than V-Skill 1. One other thing on V-Skill 2, the 2 hits reset when it bounces. Yeah. That's something that comes up occasionally. I'll just show that off real quick because I've been neglecting the game window to talk a lot. There are certain situations where you can get V-Skill 2 to hit once. And if that happens on the way up, when it bounces it refreshes back to 2 hits. So if I do this, I think. Yeah, perfect example. First time, I actually managed to demonstrate something. It hit once on the way up, bounced, and then hit twice again afterwards, which is, I don't know, you can create a setup out of this doing something like this. But unfortunately, because V-Skill 2 is so slow, you can't cancel into teleport fast enough to make it actually work, which is another one of my big complaints. So yeah, that's my summary about Dhalsim. Is he's 1% better in a world where everyone else got to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% better.